A very good evening to one and all who has joined us today. I'm starting with the ANEI anthem. I'll share my screen.
We are the voice, the hands that care, guardians of hope, always there, with wisdom and courage. The hands that care, guardians of hope, always there, with wisdom and courage. We stand tall, answering the call, serving all. In every moment, through joy and strife, we lead with purpose, we honor life, building the future with knowledge and grace, transforming healthcare in every space. Passion to action, our guiding light. For every life, we fight the fight, upholding safety with hearts so true. We are ANEI, proud in all we do. Together we rise, united we lead, planting the seeds for a brighter tomorrow. Together we rise, united we lead, planting the seeds for a brighter tomorrow. ANEI, nurses make the difference to humanity, shaping the future with strength and unity. Passion to action, our guiding light. For every life, we fight the fight, upholding safety with hearts so true. We are ANEI, proud in all we do. We are ANEI, proud in all we do.
Good evening to one and all who has joined us. I request Ajita ma'am to introduce the session today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be here with all of you today evening. This particular program is brought to you as part of our International Nurses Week celebration. And this is a very, very special session for us where we are having an interaction with mothers who were nurses and their children who became nurses. So this is a very special occasion that we can meet them and interact with them. And in my life, I have seen lot many mother-daughter duos and rarely sons too. And it had been a very, very special experience. I must say that, the mothers have influenced their children to become nurses. Usually we see the other way around, right? The nurses' plight is that it's a job which requires a lot of commitment, and the family undoubtedly bear the brunt of whatever we do. And usually children don't get as much impressed to become or to follow the mother's footsteps. But I have seen a lot of them the other way around too, where the children are very proud about what their mothers have contributed to them as children and also to the family. So I've seen both the ends, and I have a special admiration for the mothers who allowed their children to become nurses, who were nurses and who have not only contributed to the service but also made their children nurses, or did not object to their children becoming nurses and continuing in that profession. And that itself is a great service, and I have special admiration to them. And those who have joined us today, I have my special greetings to all of you, and my admiration I would like to place on record. Sini, just a word from you. Who would be introducing them? Simple will do.
Ma'am, I'll be introducing the
Oh, all
panelists.
right. Okay, fine. The values what nurses have instilled in their children, I'm sure the way we interact at home or their contribution of us being successful nurses is immeasurable. Of course, nurses' life, as everybody knows, is not a cakewalk, and lot of support from the family is required, necessary for being a successful nurse. And I'm sure all of us who had been here have that kind of support from the family, and otherwise we wouldn't have been successful nurses. And whoever manages the family and the job, I have all my appreciation to all those nurses and their families, because all successful professionals will have supporting family with them. And this is a session to admire them, to thank them as well. And that is why this program has been brought to you, where through this program we are communicating our appreciation for the family. And just wanted to tell that Association of Nurse Executives India is grateful to the family of our members, nurse members, all the nurses rather, because unless and we can really imagine how much they would have taken the brunt of the exigencies of our job. Anytime call can come, we have to leave the families even at middle of the night and things like that, because it's a very, very demanding job. And the contribution of family we must not forget, and what we are today is because of their contribution. I'm sure all of you will have your own stories to tell. I don't want to take much time explaining my feelings. Rather, we would like to hear from the participants. Special thanks to all of you for volunteering to be here and interacting with us, and we were waiting with anticipation, and I'm sure the audience as well. Yeah, as time goes, I guess more people will join us. And back to Sini to take the session forward. Thank you all once again for joining us and sharing your experiences. Looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to introduce the panelists today. We have 4 panelists. The first panelist is I will pin them up so that we all are able to see them. Our first panelist is Mrs. Gijare, Mrs. Maya Madhusan Parkar, who has worked as an OT superintendent at Lokmanya Tilak Municipal General Hospital. She is honored with the Mayor's Award for her outstanding contribution to public healthcare services. Her daughter, Dr. Meenakshi Prasad Gijare, she has done her PhD in operations management, MSc in psychiatry, and MBA in MPhil, and serving as a head quality Symbiosis University Hospital and Research Center, deputy nursing officer in Jupiter Hospital. Our next participant is Mrs. Valsama and her daughter Jolly. Mrs. Valsama has started her career as a student in KM Hospital and worked all throughout her experience in KM Hospital as a pediatric specialist and manager of the department, and later promoted at assistant matron at KM Hospital itself. Her daughter, Miss Jolly Thomas, worked as an assistant manager, clinical education and professional development at the University of Texas, Southwestern Medical Center, Dallas. She has completed her MSN and is certified as a nurse practitioner with over 22 years of experience in critical care, trauma, open heart care, clinical research, and nursing education. She has published multiple articles which are peer-reviewed. Thank you, Jolly and Mrs. Valsama, for joining us. Our next participant is Mrs. Rosama D'Souza, who has worked in Mumbai itself. I think they have not joined yet because they are running late after traveling from a place, but I still will introduce them. Mrs. Rosama is a nursing professional with 45 years of experience and worked in multiple hospitals like the Wellness Hospital, MOH in Kuwait, and Hinduja Hospital. She was a senior nurse and a head nurse at the imaging department, and also post her retirement, she has worked as a rural mobile health in Hinduja Hospital as a nurse for over 12 years as a health coordinator. Her son, Mr. Sebastian D'Souza, is working at present at Nihon Corden as assistant manager, product and marketing in patient monitoring cardiology division. He has completed his MSc and in critical care nursing and has worked with multiple institutions and companies like Arjo, Baxter, Boomerex, and Philips. Our fourth pair is Sister Mithun Sarkar. Mithun Sarkar, who has been a nursing professional. I will put Mrs. Mithun Sarkar on spotlight. And her daughter, Paulami. Mrs. Mithun Sarkar has worked as a nursing professional, as a staff nurse, and started her career as in Apollo Multi-Speciality Hospital, Kolkata, and later on promoted as an assistant nursing superintendent in the hospital. She has worked in nursing administration and patient care services with over 28 years of experience. Her daughter, Sister Paulami Sarkar, is a critical care nurse with MSc Nursing in Medical and Surgical and working at Malipal Hospital, Dakuri Critical Care Nursing. Welcome, Mrs. Mithun Sarkar and Paulami. I also would want to introduce our moderator today, that is Miss Dimple, Dr. Dimple, Dr.
Simple.
Simple. So we requested, especially Reena ma'am requested Dr. Simple Rajagopal to lead this session for a very good reason, that she too is a daughter of a nurse. Dr. Simple is an AFMC graduate from Pune with 29 years of experience in nursing and 21 years out of that in nursing education. Now she is working at Sri Narayana College of Nursing as principal. Her mom, Miss Vilasini, has did her graduation from Sarojini Naidu Medical College, Agra, and she had an experience there and Jaslok Hospital, Mumbai. Later, she got back to Kerala and worked in Trivandrum and Kottayam Medical College. And now she is retired as a nursing superintendent since 2004. Thank you, Dr. Simple, for joining us and helping us to moderate this session. I hand over to the session to you to take it ahead.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sini. And that's what I would like to thank Association of Nurse Executives India, Ma'am Ajita, Ma'am Tankam, and Ma'am Reena, who has brought me over here. So it is so wonderful to see all nursing professionals who have excelled in their career all in one screen. So right away we'll move on to the session as such. So to make the session more engaging and inclusive, I have a question to each pair initially. To the team one, that is Srimati Maya and Dr. Meenakshi Prasad. Maya ma'am, can I know what inspired you to join nursing?
Why did you join nursing?
Independent, sir. I should be independent in my life.
You wanted to be independent in your life. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
And ma'am Meenakshi, was that your mother has inspired you, or it is your decision to join nursing that made you join nursing?
I would say it is both. I had seen my mom in a leadership position right from my childhood. However, if given a choice, I would have either excelled in sports or I would have excelled in fine arts. But situations turned in such a way that I decided that I would like to be a nurse. And of course, my mom was always there as my role model in front of me because I'd always seen her as one of the bold, leaders who could even, like she was very assertive. She would not stop. If something is going wrong in the interest of patients, then she would always ensure that, she will put her patient first instead of, who is, in front of her, whether it is dean or any other seniors. So that is one quality which I feel, is a rare quality at her generation and with the challenges that they had in a government setting, I mean, in a corporation setting. So that was the reason why I decided to be a nurse. Thank you.
Very, very, very nice, ma'am. Ma'am, the same question I would like to ask the second duet, that is Mrs. Valsama Joshi, ma'am.
Valsama John.
Valsama John, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. What made you join nursing? That's a question.
It was my ambition from a very small age when I was in the school. And that time it was not accepted by all families. All family members rejected that. My mother supported me a lot. Then some people helped me to get an admission in Bombay and come to Bombay and study and work and all.
Okay. Good, ma'am. And ma'am Jolly, can I hear from you? What was your
Yeah, so nursing was not my first choice coming in. I grew up in Bombay. My mom has been a nurse for a long time, and I have seen her work, especially working in the pediatric. I always felt like she cared more for her kids in the hospital than she cared for us. So it wasn't a first choice, but I think I fell in love with nursing after the second year of nursing because I could see what an impact nurses would bring to the care of a patient, right? The picture of nursing that you have in general public is not the same as what we actually do. So it's a very different perception, and I think that perception kind of stuck with me in making sure that as nurses we are driving the care of a patient, and that needs to be visible to the community in a whole. So that has become a passion for me to make sure people around us understand what nursing really means. So I have been a nurse for 22 years now. So and I think I really, really love what I'm doing with nursing, and I'm proud of all the nurses that are around me that inspire me every day.
Thank you, Ma'am Jolly. Your words are really inspiring. So that your image you create yourself in the public, that matters a lot. Yeah, and the team three, Sydney have they joined, Mrs. Rosamma?
They have not joined. They will join in few
Yeah,
minutes.
hi. We have joined actually.
They have joined.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good. Can we hear from Ma'am Rosamma D'Souza?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, can you just tell us why you had joined nursing? Why did you pick up the nursing profession?
It was my great passion to serve the humanity and the community. That was the main reason for joining. Then another thing is that there is a job security. I cannot understand there is anybody is crying around saying that there is no job available. But nursing always there is a job security is there. That was one of other reason to join in nursing.
Very good, ma'am. Thank you so much. And Mr. Sebastian, yeah, Mr. Sebastian, your mother inspired you, or you joined by yourself? Can we know that?
Yeah, yeah. So yes, definitely my mother was a big source of inspiration. I used to see her go every day early morning for in Hinduja Hospital, and I used to like whenever she used to tell us about the stories and all of how a day went and all. It should always inspire me. But I always had this doubt whether I being a male, should I join nursing or should I not join nursing? Because initially it was just I felt only females can do. So as I grew up, and when I finished my this thing, I mean 12th standard, I saw this in a very in a way that I thought I will be one of the few male nurses. I thought I can try for that. And when I had joined that time, in fact, there was only one college in Maharashtra where I am from, where there was males. So then it was very tough, in fact, initially, but that inspired me more, and I just wanted to. I just felt that we as male nurses also can show that we are good at what we do, and as a nurse, this is the only profession where males are outnumbered. So I was like so very you could say very passionate to prove and change that mindset also, which I felt in whatever way I could wherever I worked.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sebastian. Shall we go for the second round?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the segment 2 of our discussion is a spotlight. That is I can give you certain questions or thoughts for discussion. So the first question or the to the first team. Growing up, what did you observe about your mother as a nurse? That is to Dr. Meenakshi Prasad.
Yeah, good evening. Actually, it was a pleasure to see her, as independent lady who was not only in a leadership position in her workplace, right? Whether, when she was a staff nurse, I remember I was very small. But even at that time, I could feel her passion for the patients. Like, when we used to visit hospital, if there is some patient who is not doing so good, or if she felt that this patient needs more attention, she would just make us sit in her, one corner of the ward or in one corner of the OT room. And then she would go attend to them and come back. So I felt that my mother was different than others, whom I used to see around. Maybe some were working in a clerical position or in some other offices, but serving to humanity came as her first thing. We had a lot of people, who used to come and visit our house at odd times. I remember someone coming in my house at around 2 o'clock in the midnight to talk about a patient who was admitted in her hospital. And I was actually irritated because I was appearing for my maths paper on the next day. And that was my 12th standard paper. But she was with a smiling face and she just addressed. And in those days, with limited means of communication, still she managed to speak to her team members, and she had helped him out. And I really, subtly was, absorbing all these qualities in her. And I realized that, it was, if it was not my mother who was with me during my tough times when I had my own GBS, I don't think, I would have been here in front of you all today, because she had gone out of her ways to save me. She knew what is the prognosis. She was seeing other patients with the same disease dying around me, but she never, showed that on her face to me. She always supported me. She said, "You are going to come back. You are going to come back. You have your match to play." And that is what I think, I like. And I think our profession gives us that ability, whatever is going on in our mind, we never show it on our face. We are always there for patients. And I think that is one quality which made me get attracted towards this profession. And I'm really proud that I have a mother like her. Though she is, she has crossed her 80 years, but the way she behaves at home, like one day if she's not around, then I realize how much the house is missing her. Small little things, maybe getting a water bottle when I'm going for office on the dining table, not required, but till date she does this. And I think that is one unique quality that all mothers, and especially the nurses who are mothers, have them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You made me emotional too, talking about your, crisis situation and how she was able to manage. That was so nice, ma'am. Ma'am, how did you feel when your daughter wanted to join nursing? What was your opinion? Like, what did you tell her that when she came up to you and told that, no, I too am going to join nursing? What was your reaction, ma'am?
काय वाटलं मी नर्सिंग जॉईन केले तेव्हा?
I was happy when she joined to the nursing.
You were happy. Yeah.
She just told me that you are entering a difficult profession. I remember her words, like I was insisting that I will take admission for GNM because I was getting admission in her own LTMG hospital. And I did not know what is GNM, what is BSc nursing in those days. She told me, nothing doing. If at all you are taking admission, you will take admission for BSc nursing. So she forced me to go to LT College of Nursing, seeing, 200 plus nurses, young, colleagues who were appearing for that entrance exam, the tough entrance exam I felt at that time. And being from a vernacular medium, like I had limitations in terms of expressing myself in those days. So I thought I have lost it, during my group discussion, because I uttered only one sentence that I think we are deviating from topic, and then the bell was rang. But mom was there with me throughout, and she said, "See, this is just first thing that you are, learning in your profession. You will have multiple occasions like this where probably you may not get a chance to express yourself, but you will have to, stand for what is right. And I think that what she gave me, whether I get the admission or I don't get the admission, that was not important for me. But that lesson what she gave me was very important. And once I got into nursing, every time, she would be there with me. She used to make sure that, I have good nourishment, as well as, I'm doing my assignments in time. She would go and talk to the different doctors. If I'm learning, say, suppose if when I was learning psychiatry, I had a lot of mentors around me who were already working as psychiatrists or psychiatric nurses in her, team. So that way, I felt that, she always feel. Now also she says, like when I completed my PhD, to everyone she says, I have a doctor at home next to me, so I need not worry. She wants to say that I have a doctorate in nursing who is with me, but she expresses it in that way, like I have somebody who will be there with me throughout. And I think that is one thing, which in Marathi we say balkadu. So that is something that I have got from her, that service beyond self is something that every nurse needs to keep in mind. Thank you.
Fantastic, ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, next to Ma'am Balsama John. So, what is one major difference you find, ma'am, in your generation nursing and your daughter's generation?
Our time is it was all manpower they want. They don't give education to nurses. Now they have lots of opportunities to go ahead and study whatever they want. That time it was not there. Only they want us to work, work, and work. Now they are empowered with the education and they can manage on their own.
Fine, a lot of training.
Now whatever she's studying, I'm after her. You finish that first.
Okay, you support her till date. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, what do you admire the most about your mother as a nurse? Ma'am Jolly.
So there, it's not words, it's actions. As kids, we absorb a lot of things that you see around. My parents were both working parents, and my mom used to work full time. It was not usual around those days when you go to school. Your mom's working on like weekends and different shift hours. So it was not a very usual thing. But I think what I have learned from her, watching her work, is the discipline that she had. Discipline to in managing her house, and but at the same time giving her 100% at work, when she was at work. Um, as a kid, I think we our summer vacations were at the hospital, right? So she would take us, with her. So we were able to watch her work while we were, doing other things. Um, it was the command that she had. Her expertise actually showed. It was people trying to seek her expertise, coming to her to ask questions, or it's a difficult IV for this baby, can you come help? It was doctors who would come and consult. So she really ran that place, and that was a very different perspective in terms of what I've seen or known about nursing. I think today, whatever I'm doing, the advocacy that I have for my patients, that comes from her. Those are observed values that I have, because I have seen her work that way. And bringing your 100% to work, regardless of what else is happening, because somebody's life is dependent on your work and how you are present in their care. So those are some values that I have learned. Planning ahead, like that has gone into my personal life as well. I have to plan ahead, know my steps, and have everything ready before things actually happen. So those are, not just nursing and in my career, but also life skills. I think nursing teaches you a lot of life skills, and those life skills have been very, very greatly, impact on my life.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you, ma'am. Now, next to mother-son duo, team three. Ma'am, have you ever had a difference of opinion among both of you regarding nursing?
Yeah, I wanted that to see. I am a general nurse, but I wanted my child should go for higher education, and I want that he should not remain in the same position in same place. So he can um, study as much as he want, and he should reach in a higher level. That was my main ambition. But everything I advised my son, you should be disciplined, and you should be you always should be think about the safety of the patient. Any difference of opinion you had with me? And I think he has done everything properly, and he was very keen of hearing and doing it in his life.
Okay. Okay. Was
In,
was there
in, a way
anything?
that
Yeah.
is, in a way that is helped in his career also. He never had any problem of searching for job, and he become a better person than before.
Okay. So, I mean, among you, there was no such differences, ma'am. Like, whatever your opinion was his opinion too.
I'll just means when I and my mom have some discussions, like we sit on. Means our family is like fully a nursing family. Even my wife is from the nursing background, so we
Okay.
discuss a lot of stuff on the table. And one thing she always says, "Ke now this new generation." She calls me new generation, but I am still not a new generation. But she says the new generation, they are only into electronics, records. They don't go to the bedside. They will not see the patient, and everything they are doing it on the computer. So she doesn't know the. Means I always say that has helped us in giving more time for the patient, and having everything on record, saving time for documentation. That is a good thing. But for her, she finds that electronics, or you could say anything related to new technology, it is removing the nursing, you could say the skill aspect of nursing, and it is only making us like robots, or some sort of in future AI based AI based beings. So I always tell her, but that will never, nursing will never be replaced by AI. And many professions can be replaced by AI. It will improve our time, increase our time for giving us proper care. But she's not savvy, and that is something she. I try to teach her, and she always will say, "No, you are there for me. I should I learn." So, but yeah, so that is one thing we always have difference of opinion. But yeah, I can understand her point of view from where she's come from. So.
Yeah. Thank you. And Sister Mithun Sarkar. I think I've left you in the beginning, the introduction round. And Sister Paulami. Can you share a moment when you were proud of your mom, which made you proud?
Hello, ma'am. I felt most proud of my mother when I entered the ICU for the first time as a professional. Growing up, I saw her work, but I didn't truly understand it. Standing as a patient's bedside, managing ventilators with complex medications, I finally realized that she was doing all what she was doing all these years. So I felt an overwhelming sense of pride realizing she hadn't just gone to work every day. She was just being a silent hero in a high pressure environment. My pride came from realizing the depth of her knowledge and the mental toughness she must be possessed to raise me while carrying the weight as a patient means weight of her patient's life. And I felt proud to finally be her, not as a daughter, but also like her colleague. So I'm very proud of her that all these years she had done the incredible job in her life. So thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you just explain any incidents where you could support your daughter during a stressful situation? How did you advise her to manage a stressful situation in her work? You need to unmute, ma'am. You're muted. Okay.
I always support being a only person who truly understands the weight of a shit without me having a explain it. During my most stressful time, critical care, but she did not just offer sympathy. I just did not sympathy. She offered perspective. She know exactly when I needed. I went about the difficult clinical situation, and when I needed, I sit silently. Always support.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, now like once we have crossed this particular segment, we move on to the next one. That is a reflection, a cross reflection. Anyone can answer. Anybody, or should I specify, Ma'am Sini?
As per your choice, Dr. Simple, you can take it ahead. If you want to direct it to somebody, please do.
Okay. What is one value that you think that hasn't crossed? I mean, hasn't changed throughout the generation? I think, Ma'am Valsama.
The dedication of nurses are very great that no other people have.
That hasn't changed throughout. I mean, from your generation.
That has not changed now. That has not changed.
Very good. Very good, ma'am. Anybody else have a different answer?
I think to add to her point, dedication in the new generation, it might look a little different. It may not mean that you are working long hours and, but it might mean a lot more in terms of how strong you are in growing yourself, and making sure that all the people that come to you and depend on you for your care, how strongly you advocate for them. So the dedication may look different across the generation, but I think foundationally, the dedication to our patients is the foundation of nursing as a whole, and that is not going to change.
Exactly. Like when we see the students coming each year, we can feel the difference among the students who had passed out like 10 years back, 20 years back, and right now the students joining us. I mean, their version of dedication is different, as you said correctly. Yeah. Thank you. Ma'am Meenakshi, what is one change in modern nursing that you appreciate the most?
Think we as modern nurses have got a lot of access to technology. So if you have any doubt, like mobile is one gadget which is there in our hand. Now with AI coming in, there is no dearth of learning that we have. And secondly, what I feel, we as the next generation, as compared to our moms, we have got better clinical settings. I remember Sister Valsama when we used to go as students in KM Hospital. There, we wanted certain supplies, but there were a dearth of supplies. So though they wished to give, they could not give to give to our generation. But now, if you see, we are in the era of disposables, so there is no boiling of syringes, there is no boiling of needles, etc. What hardship they have gone through, we are really lucky. We just open the packets and everything is in our hand. But I think what we lack, is as rightly said, that dedication and compassion for the patients. Sometimes we tend to forget we are running on the clock, is what I feel at times. And I think if we could change that, then I think the essence of nursing will still remain, and probably we would we would go up to a better level than what we are today. Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am Mithun, you want to add something?
Yes. Historically, the profession was often defined strictly by bedside tasks. Today, the integration of advanced nursing administration, rigorous clinical competency frameworks, and quality assurance has completely transformed the field. The push for advanced degrees and continuous clinical education means that care is driven by the latest scientific research rather than just institutional tradition. Managing complex environments, especially areas like critical care, now relies heavily on nursing professionals on handle material management, streamline streamline operations, and ensure safety protocols. Dedicated rules and for nurse educators ensure that the next generation of staff is highly trained, resilient, and prepared for the technological and medical complexities of modern patient care.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. We have a question from Ma'am Durga. Thank you for the question, ma'am. Madam was asking to senior nurses, do they feel that present day nurses are valuing the benefits and facilities they are getting now compared to the earlier generation? Anyone can answer?
Of course, it is much better these days because everywhere the salary wise, in the job wise, and technology wise. So we can spend more time on patient's care also. When the technology is advanced, there is no need of searching for anything. We get it everything in the computerized and the AI and all nowadays. So if any quick reason we wanted to find out, we can find out.
Yeah.
Of course, in the hospital scenario, otherwise also there are so many of well-educated and well-positioned nursing directors are like Madam Palashi, Durga, and all. Anytime they are welcoming for any doubt and queries. So there is no problem. But in a rural setup and all, it is very difficult. There is nobody. So we should also know if there is also some sort of um, advanced technology can provide by any other corporate setup, then it is much better. Patients will be benefited in that way. Since I worked in the rural, I know the difficulties to be faced. So the patient, everybody need a good care, and hospital setup, everything is ready-made available, and anybody, we can ask any doubt to anybody. Here we have to act ourselves. So if there are certain type of minor technologies are provided there, it will be much better for their health aspect.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the answer. Ma'am Durga, you had one more question, but I don't think that has a relevance here because all the mothers over here they have led their children into nursing, or they didn't have a difference of opinion in that. Neither any of the kids had had a feeling that they should not be opting for nursing. Thank you. Now, ma'am, it was wonderful to see how experiences differ, but then yet the core of nursing, that is, it remains the same: the care, the compassion, and the commitment. Even over the generations, we have listened to our senior nurses, and we come to understand that, like, the core values that remains the same. Now I would like to request each one of you to, give a message to the future nurses. What would you like to, convey to the future nurses from each duo?
They should not. They should up to date their knowledge according to the situations and according to the time. And safety to the patient is not going to change it, and care to the patient also, and be a good nursing staff for the patients. The patients will be able to communicate with you that way if you interact with the patients. So more interaction also necessary, and you should up to date your knowledge for everything. That is my advice to the new generation.
Thank you. Ma'am Balsama, what is your message to the future nurses?
They should be kind to the patient and they should give proper care to the patients who are coming to them. They should believe them as they can save more lives like that.
And Maya.
Would like to tell the future generation.
पेशंट आल्यावर आपल्याला त्यांना सपोर्ट करणं जास्त महत्वाचं आहे ना.
So what she's saying is, put your patient first. Patient should be, your center of your all the whatever we are doing. That should be patient should be at the center. That's what she's trying to say. With whatever you can do best for your patient, you should do that. That's what she wants to say.
First, yeah. Ma'am Mithun, what is your message?
My message, the monitors will constantly beep. The night shifts will test your absolute limits, and the tasks will always be incredibly high. In those moments, remember that you are never just executing orders or checking off tasks. You are the clinical anchor of the entire healthcare system. Your ability to manage complex, high acuity environments and your deep intellectual understanding of patient care matter just as much as your compassion. Never stop questioning the why behind the protocols, and remember that elevating the standard of care starts with your own commitment to the excellence.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a message from ma'am Shailaja. I think I've pronounced it right. Young nurses have to be working with dedication and commitment towards patient care as well as admin work. Only then they can shine in future. And as added, admin work has to be taken care by the nurses, present generation. Then due to various developments, this is from Madam Kalai. Due to various developments, paperwork is eating into considerable bedside nursing time. Mobile should not play priority in clinical setting. That's Madam's message to the future nurses. Yeah.
I feel like I am part of like the mid older generation. So the new nurses that I see, I work with a lot of nurse residents here, that are new graduates coming in. And the thing that I like to remind them is, yes, they all come with big dreams coming into nursing. And most of the time, those dreams don't include staying at the bedside, taking care of the patient. But I always try to remind them, nursing has a position, and the respect that it has right now because of all the great nurses who worked for it, and the dedication to bring that profession to this level. Even in India, you have seen there's a difference in how people perceive nurses from back in way back from even when we were students, how they used to look at nursing. It's very different. It's because of all the work that some of our nurse leaders have put into building up this profession. So in addition to building your own careers, they should also give back to the profession. They should also be part of, organizations, be part of research, and uplift the profession as a whole, so we can continue to bring and keep nursing at this highest level of consideration in healthcare, because that is the only way we can advocate and we can have a place in healthcare to advocate for our patients. So that is something I always tell my younger generation nurses that come through is, give back. And that's really important.
I just would like to add something to what Jolly has said. One thing, like this year's Nurses Days theme, empowerment is something that one has to have within. By having your nursing directors or your management giving you empowerment on paper, it does not come to you. You, as a nurse, irrespective of which position, which role you are in, you need to be empowered enough to take decisions for patient safety as well as your safety and your colleague safety. And I think by doing, by continuously updating yourself and, getting into small researches or quality improvement projects, we can definitely make a big difference in the ocean of healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think Polomi is the youngest person. Yeah. Can
Yes,
we
ma'am. I'm,
hear something from you as well?
uh, I'm the new generation nurse. I'm the modern generation. And another way I can tell the Gen Z generation. So, being in that generation, I will tell one word for the future nurses to my younger nurses that moving away from one size fits for all approach and towards a model where every action is data driven and hyper targeted, whether it's a perception of advanced clinical education, the exactness required in managing high acuity patients, or the strategic oversight in healthcare administration. The margin for error is striking as the depth of nursing expertise grows. So it defines a world where technology and the clinical judgment work in perfect alignment to deliver the right intervention at the exact moments it's needed. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Polomi. Yeah. So thank you all for such a wonderful and esteemed participation, explaining and expressing your journey of nursing right from your beginning and how you had transformed it. I mean, your daughter's career or son's career as well. It was very inspirational to listen to all of you. That's it, Sini.
Thank you, Dr. Simple and everybody. I hand it over to Ajita ma'am to say a few last words for the session.
Um, very, very happy to listen to you, and it was very enlightening, I would say. And in conclusion, what Polomi said, I'm really impressed. Okay, so we should not be too judgmental about Gen Z, I feel, because they are much smarter and much ahead of us in understanding. Didn't you feel that listening to her? Yeah, so they have more understanding of the context than probably us, our generation, because we are living behind the situation. I feel sometime because we always connect with our past and not these young ones are able to connect with the future more easily. Rather, we have to little bit struggle to think about what lies ahead, maybe 5 years, 10 years, but they are thinking in that direction, and that is very promising. So if you ask me what is it about more hopeful, or what is it you're hopeful about nursing, it's the younger generation, I would say. Yeah, because I have more hope in them than many may disagree with me, but I feel that a little bit more of we have to little bit more to impress them, to instill some more values in them probably. Maybe it is our take because we think little 20 years behind than they think 20 years ahead. So the difference in thinking is 40 years. Oh, that's too huge a gap. Yeah, so maybe so both sides need to work for that. So I would, before I conclude, I have seen Elizabeth ma'am here. Elizabeth Joseph, would you like to say something? I did see her here. Are you there?
Yes, Ajita, very much here.
Yeah,
Very,
please,
yeah,
please.
very
Please would like to
interesting.
listen to you. Love to
Yeah,
listen.
very interesting conversations. Listening to generations. My, as you said, there's no right or wrong, but one thing which is clearly lacking today is um, we keep talking about Gen Z and people behave in a particular way because it's a Gen Z characteristic. Sometimes I feel that's a way the senior generation is just washing their hands off and saying that they do not want to take responsibility and accountability. It's just like at home, you have to tell your child when he or she is wrong. Maybe the way we were taught, I mean, the way we were corrected, maybe given, a good beating and then we were expected correction. We may not handle the present generation like that, but not doing it at all is damaging the profession. So that's the only thing that I have. But the sessions were very interesting and it was so, so good to listen to some of our senior nurses. They still have so much of passion in their voice and in their eyes. That was very, very evident. Thank you so much, Captain Ajita, for organizing this.
Thank you, Dr. Elizabeth. She is the captain of our Western Zone of ANEI. And Durga, something from you before we close?
Thank you, Ajita ma'am. Good evening, all. It's something. This type of session or these type of ideas can always only and only come in Annie. This type of a session, I mean, nobody could have imagined that bringing a mother and child duo for a discussion. And with immense pride, I would say that out of these three mother and child duos, there are two, either the daughter or the mother. I have worked with them or I have experienced their work. Sister Rosamma, though I have worked with her so closely at Hinduja Hospital, and I have seen her passion in the mobile healthcare unit and the rural area, with which it was not easy, but it was only Sister Rosamma who could do it. And Dr. Minakshi also, I have seen the way she is passionate in her profession, in nursing as a very good entrepreneur. She has already proved herself. So kudos to all the mothers and the children, the way they have taken their respective professions ahead. And Jolly being my batchmate, BSc nursing batchmate, today on the screen, we are three batchmates together. And I think even Ranjita Mary Joseph is also there, who has joined. So it's a moment of pride, and that too with our teacher, Dr. Elizabeth Joseph. We are sharing the same platform. So, and LT College of Nursing, Dr. Minakshi also. So, I mean, it's a golden moment for me. I could not miss this session. I literally came running home to attend this session. So, thank you, Annie. And I request all those who are not Annie members to please join Annie. There is so much over here which you are missing if you're not a member. So go ahead and make yourself an Annie member and be a part of these amazing sessions and this amazing experience. Thank you, Ajita ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Durga. The feeling is evident on everybody's face, isn't it right, Sini?
Yeah,
So,
ma'am.
I mean, all of us from beginning. I mean, I couldn't stop smiling listening to all of you, and that's what we really mean. ANI is a different kind of an organization where we have a lot of connect with each other, and and it is the feeling what we have in our mind matters at the end. And many people have intention, but do they really do the thing? So we believe in making our passion, converting it to action. That is what is our motto: passion to action. And we live by that, and we make more people do that. That's our commitment, right? So our objective is to reach out to every nurse in the country, and we need help from all of you for that. And remembering our seniors, our mothers, that's part of our DNA, and we will continue to do that. And I have, as national president, I have a dream to connect with the elders who were nurses who contributed sometime, at least when they are at home and not having much of connect, because they lived in a different time zone, actually, where connectivity was very limited, right? We remember standing in queue in front of the public PCO, public call booth, and trying to send the postal cards and inlands and all that. So those were the times where it was so difficult to connect with anybody. We had to wait for weeks together to listen from our parents, and we belong to that generation. And they struggled it. I feel nursing is much easier today, or in other words, the challenges are so very different. It's very competitive today, and even it is very much more accountable today, and the public has less confidence in at least allopathy kind of medicine what we practice, the settings. So they are questioning us for everything, or when there is an expectation clash, it's much more difficult to deal with them than probably Maya madam handled her patients, because I'm sure all her patients trusted her, or for that matter Valsma ma'am. So we are living in a different generation today, so we need to have that understanding of each other. But my heart goes to the people who worked in those days with much limited resources. What their strength was, undoubtedly their commitment for nursing, and with their sense of accountability, they could manage all those scenes, and there was nothing as we see today those days. And I'm sure they have boiled syringes, glass syringes to give injections. In my first few years of student life, we used to do that, and then those era is gone. So I mean, it was way out of this current world or current practice settings. And kudos to all of you for keeping or living by your principles and teaching our generation of people the meaning of how we should spend our lives as nurses. And whatever I can remember, all my teachers and senior colleagues who were embodiment of dedication, I would say that they have always kept the profession beyond themselves, and we have seen them practicing, and that is what little bit is there in our generation of people. I'm not saying that whether it is right or wrong. I would never say that, because I feel Polomi is more correct than what I am thinking. I feel today that, unless and until you are able to look after yourself, how can you look after your patients? But it has a time connotation. Those days it could be done. Okay, so maybe in the current times it is not, because the exposure is different, the understanding is different, and the world is different today. However, I mean, some of us find it that we are a little bit misfits in today's world. We do feel that. So it is everything what we talk about, the values, the principles what we talk about, everything has got a time connotation. There were one question was there, what was the values which did not change across generations? And the answer I think Madam Balsama gave was the commitment and dedication to the profession. So dedication, of course, has different meaning, but or a little bit different in our understanding. But still, yeah, the word commitment and dedication is not going to change. And probably Polomi's generation would say that, whatever we do for the time what we are in, and it is that's what Jolie meant, I guess, that the way we do work is 100%. It's not 99%, and maybe that we don't stay on like what our generations did, and there is no right and wrong about it. We had no other choice, so we stayed on. And in the current generation, there is more HR principles. So times have changed. We must understand that. And I feel as ANEI president, my task is to bring all the generations together and rejoice the base of nursing, the principles of nursing, and the purpose of being nursing. And I draw a lot of encouragement and inspiration from all of you. And I understand my responsibility. Mine, I mean that, including Dr. Meenakshi, my generation of people. Okay, so our responsibility is to make the younger nurses identify that joy in doing nursing. So that is what I feel our responsibility is, and we'll continue our mission through the medium of ANEI. And I would really love all of you to get engaged with us in this. And thank you so much for joining us. And it was sheer pleasure to have all of you. My electricity is gone, that's why it's gone dark. I hope you are able to listen to me. And very happy to have you all here, and wish you all the best. Keep in touch and spread the message of ANEI to more people. And we will look forward to meeting you again somewhere. Sitting here and listening to Sebastian, I was messaging Sini that we would have a session exclusive for the men counterparts of us. I am getting more ideas sitting here. So we'll have, because these are topics which we don't discuss in public, and we should have such lively discussions. Thank you so much for such wonderful session, and it was a real pleasure listening to all of you and bringing you all together. Thank you. Have a great night and great life ahead. Thank you.
Thank you,
Madam
ma'am.
Thank you.
Rajita,
Bye,
and
everyone.
all the
Thank you,
Well
ma'am.
organizers, all
coordinated
the
session,
participants.
Sini. Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
so nice to see
Thank
all
you.
of you
Bye.
guys here.